You saved up all year. You finally booked Jamaica, and you are about to hand your hard-earned money to a resort that will absolutely ruin your life for 7 days. Some of these resorts ban kids entirely and forget to mention it. One has a beach so rocky you need water shoes just to touch the ocean. And one is so famous for the wrong reasons that booking it by accident is genuinely a rite of passage. 10 resorts to avoid, counting down to the worst. 3 that are actually worth it. Let's go. Number 10. Hedonism. 2. Negril. We are easing you in gently at number 10 with a resort that lures people in every single year purely because it sits on a stunning stretch of Negril's legendary 7-mile beach. The beach is genuinely gorgeous. White sand, calm water, the whole dream. And then you walk through the gate and realize you have made a catastrophic booking error. Hedonism 2 is a clothing-optional lifestyle resort. Has been since the 1970s. It is completely unapologetic about this, which is fair enough. The problem is that third-party booking sites frequently bury these details in print so small you would need a microscope and a legal team to find them. Every single year, families show up to Hedonism, 2 with toddlers, pool floaties, and zero awareness of what they have booked. The check-in conversation in those situations is the most awkward human interaction imaginable. If you are an adventurous adult couple looking for exactly what Hedonism offers, it genuinely delivers. The beach is that good, the staff are professional in their own very specific way, and the food gets decent marks. But if you are traveling with children, or if you are expecting a standard adults-only vibe, read the property description before you click confirm. Read all of it, every single word. One more thing worth knowing about Hedonism. 2. The resort sits on the same 7-mile beach stretch as Beach's Negril, which is number 1 on the safe list. Same beach, wildly different experiences. Proximity on a map means nothing when the resort policies are that far apart. Number 9 used to be a solid family choice. Then they changed the rules entirely and forgot to tell the internet about it. Number 9. Rio Montego Bay. Rio Montego Bay was for years a popular family resort. Reliable, good location, decent food. Nothing spectacular, but nothing terrible. Parents booked it, kids went in the pool, everyone went home. Then Rio converted it to a strictly adults-only property and pivoted hard into what they call the Rio Party atmosphere. We are talking themed pool events, foam parties, music pumping across the property until late. It is essentially a controlled music festival that also has hotel rooms attached. For the right crowd, that sounds brilliant. For the family of 4 who booked 3 months ago based on the reviews from 2 years ago when it was still family-friendly, that sounds like a disaster. The booking confusion here is the real danger. Review sites are full of outdated entries describing a family resort that no longer exists. You can absolutely still find 4- and 5-star reviews recommending Rio Montego Bay for families, written before the policy change, still sitting there looking completely legitimate. The food has also drawn criticism since the shift. Guests report that the a la carte restaurants have severely limited reservation availability and operating hours, which appears to be a cost-cutting measure. Most guests end up at the buffet by default, which rotates through the same items on the same 3-day cycle. Do your research. Check the current policy directly with the resort. Do not trust any review more than 18 months old. If you are finding this useful, subscribe right now. We break down travel traps like this every week, so you do not have to find out the hard way. Because number 8 is a resort where the property itself is the problem. Number 8. Bahia. Principe, Grand Jamaica, Runaway Bay. Picture this, it is 8 in the morning. You are in Jamaica. You want coffee and you want to get the kids to the beach. Simple enough. At Bahia Principe Grand Jamaica in Runaway Bay, that simple mission turns into a 15 to 20-minute walk across concrete pathways in blistering Caribbean heat before you have even touched a single amenity. This resort covers an immense footprint of land, and the layout means that getting from your room to the beach, or from the beach to the pool bar, or from anywhere to anywhere else involves a serious commitment. With kids, diaper bags, pool floaties, and sunscreen that needs reapplying every 10 seconds, those distances matter enormously. The crowd situation compounds the problem. Because the resort has a massive room capacity, the main buffet at peak times has been described by multiple reviewers in terms that suggest it resembles a high-stress school cafeteria rather than a Caribbean holiday. The volume of people moving through the dining spaces at once is just a lot to deal with. The beach, when you eventually reach it, is attractive. The pools are well maintained. But for a family with young children where the daily logistics of getting from A to B matter, the sheer scale of this property creates friction that builds up over a week in ways that are genuinely exhausting. Jamaica is hot. Real Caribbean heat. The idea of adding 15 minutes of concrete, walking to every single activity of every single day, before you have even had breakfast, adds up across a week in ways that are genuinely exhausting. Your children will not find it as character building as you hope. Jamaica is hot. Adding 15 minutes of concrete walking to every activity before you have even had breakfast adds up across a week. Your children will not find it as character building as you hope. Number 7 is beautiful, boutique, and will break your heart if you show up with the wrong travel party. Number 7. Sandals. Royal Plantation, Ocho Rios. This one feels cruel to include because the resort itself is genuinely exceptional. 74 suites on a dramatic cliffside above the Caribbean Sea. Private beach. Every single room comes with butler service, the kind of place where you feel like a person of immense taste, and excellent decision-making just for having booked it. And then, you show up with your kids and get turned away at the gate. Sandals properties are 100% adults-only couples resorts. No exceptions. No family zones tucked away somewhere. No children allowed. If you are under 18, this resort does not want to know you. The tragic mistake here happens constantly. Families see the breathtaking photos of a quiet, intimate beach, assume peaceful means family-friendly, and book without reading the property description carefully enough. The cliffside setting and the boutique scale give it a retreat energy that reads as suitable for everyone. It is not suitable for everyone. It is suitable for couples with a decent budget and no children in tow. And for those people, it is probably one of the finest all-inclusive experiences in the Caribbean. Number 6 revolves entirely around children, and it still made the avoid list. The reason is more complicated than you might think. Number 6. Franklin D Resort and Spa. On paper, Franklin D Resort is the smartest thing ever marketed to a parent. The entire concept is built around one feature. Every family is assigned a dedicated personal vacation nanny for the duration of their stay. Childcare, beach activities, crafts, supervision, all handled by your own person. Parents can actually relax. Children are engaged. Everyone wins. In theory, that is incredible. In practice, the execution has drawn some significant and consistent criticism. The nannies themselves tend to get good marks in reviews. The problem is the physical resort they are working in. Franklin D charges luxury prices specifically for the nanny concept, and guests arrive to find accommodations that do not match what luxury prices should deliver. Dated rooms with peeling paint, old appliances, plumbing that requires more optimism than it should. The kind of upkeep issues that suggest the property has been investing in the marketing budget and not the renovation budget. Multiple families also report that the nanny service was inconsistent in how it was delivered. Some families said their nanny was excellent. Others said theirs showed up late or seemed stretched across multiple families simultaneously, which contradicts the dedicated one-on-one promise in the marketing. When the nanny experience works perfectly, this resort probably feels magical. The risk is that it does not, and you have spent serious money on a concept that did not fully materialize. If you are seriously considering Franklin D, call the resort directly and ask specifically how the nanny allocation works before you book. Drop a comment right now and tell us the worst all-inclusive experience you have ever had. We genuinely want to know. And number 5 looks like an absolute paradise for kids, right up until you try to actually bring them. Number 5. Excellence Oyster Bay, Montego Bay. Excellence Oyster Bay is built on a breathtaking private peninsula, surrounded by a bioluminescent lagoon. The water is calm and clear. The setting looks genuinely perfect for children to splash around in. It is a strictly adults-only luxury resort. No family zones, no kids clubs, no children on the peninsula. 0 exceptions. This one makes the list purely because the setting is so visually misleading. The promotional photos show calm, shallow water that looks ideal for young swimmers. The bioluminescent lagoon sounds like the most magical thing a child could experience. The peninsula setting implies privacy and exclusivity rather than the age restriction that actually explains it. Families consistently book Excellence Oyster Bay, believing they have found a hidden gem of a family resort, only to discover on arrival, or sometimes not until they read the confirmation email more carefully, that the kids cannot come. Save this one for a romantic anniversary trip. It is genuinely stunning, and the food and service get exceptional reviews. The adults-only execution is flawless. Just make sure you are traveling as the right kind of adults when you book it. Wrong trip, wrong traveler, but file Excellence Oyster Bay away for the right occasion. The setting and dining are genuinely exceptional. For what it is worth, Excellence Oyster Bay at its best is one of the finest all-inclusive properties in Jamaica. The private peninsula setting is extraordinary, the dining is outstanding, and the scale is intimate enough that it feels personal rather than industrial. Wrong trip, wrong traveler, wrong time, but file it away for later. Number 4 is famous for its natural mineral springs and its history. It is also showing its age in ways that are hard to ignore at the prices it charges. Number 4. Couples. Sans Souci, Ocho Rios. Couples Sans Souci has a lot going for it on paper. Natural underground mineral springs, lush jungle pathways, a historic charm that the larger, newer resorts cannot replicate. The setting in Ocho Rios is genuinely beautiful. 2 problems. First, it is designed exclusively for adult couples. True to its name, children are not part of the proposition. Second, even if you are traveling as a couple, the current reviews suggest the property is showing its age in ways that are hard to justify at the prices being charged. Room interiors are dated. Bathroom fixtures look like they belong in a different decade. The furniture is worn. The kind of wear and tear that accumulates when a property has not had a meaningful renovation in a long time. The mineral pool is immaculate. The staff warmth and personalized service are genuine strengths. The resort is small enough that staff remember names and preferences, and returning guests speak of it with real affection. But when the mineral pool is in perfect condition and the grout in your bathroom looks like it has been there since the Clinton administration, the disconnect is very noticeable. For the nightly rates Couples Sans Souci is currently charging, the physical product needs to match the positioning. A proper renovation would make this one of the most compelling boutique resorts in Jamaica. It is just not there yet. Number 3 is where we get into the resorts that are fine for adults, but genuinely terrible for families with young children. This one has a logistics problem that escalates fast. Number 3. Grand Palladium Jamaica Resort and Spa, Lusail. Pay close attention to the geography. Grand Palladium Jamaica is frequently listed as a Montego Bay resort, but it is actually in Lusail, on the northwest coast, a meaningful distinction for excursion access and getting around. The resort itself is a massive, sprawling operation. Beautiful grounds, multiple pools, Long Beach, the kind of property that photographs beautifully and delivers a certain type of large-scale, all-inclusive experience well. For families with young children, though, the scale creates serious problems. Families requesting connecting rooms or ground floor access for strollers routinely report that their requests were ignored at check-in due to the sheer volume of guests moving through the property. You might request connecting rooms for your family of 4 and end up assigned to rooms at opposite ends of a very large building. Hauling tired toddlers, heavy diaper bags, and enough pool equipment to supply a small water park across that distance multiple times a day is a different kind of holiday than the one you planned. The walking distances within the property itself have drawn repeated complaints. A reviewer described their room as being a quarter-mile, 10-minute trek from the kids' pool and the beach. That is not a dramatic exaggeration. It is a consistent complaint across multiple recent reviews. The food draws the standard large resort criticism. The kitchens are feeding enormous numbers at once, and quality control is inconsistent. One reviewer called it a very large cafeteria with a swim-up bar, which is harsh, but clearly rooted in a genuine disappointment. If you are set on Grand Palladium, call ahead and get your room category confirmed in writing before you arrive. Getting specific about what you need before check-in is the difference between a manageable stay and a genuinely frustrating one. Number 2 looks like a budget win on the surface. It is not a budget win. Number 2, Holiday Inn Resort. Montego Bay, the Holiday Inn Resort. Montego Bay is a familiar name on a familiar street, and it shows up constantly on discount booking sites as one of the most budget-friendly, all-inclusive options in Jamaica. That price point is tempting when you are trying to make a family holiday work financially. Here is the reality of what that price point is actually buying you. Standard rooms run under 300 square feet. Put a family of 4 in there with luggage, beach gear, and the accumulated chaos of 2 children in a small space, and you have a room that stops feeling like a room and starts feeling like a waiting area. The walls are famously thin. Guests report hearing every conversation in the corridor, every footstep from the room above, and every decision their neighbors make at any hour of the day or night. With kids who need to sleep on a schedule, that is not a minor inconvenience. The decor is dated in a way that goes beyond charming and into genuinely tired. The buffet gets consistent criticism for a lack of freshness and variety that feels more like a low-end cafeteria than a holiday dining experience. The location on Montego Bay is genuinely convenient, and the beach access is fine. For a solo traveler or a couple who just needs a bed and a beach for a few nights, the value calculation is different. For a family spending a week, spending slightly more on a better-maintained property will save you more in daily frustration than the initial price difference suggests. A holiday that costs $300 less but delivers a week of thin walls, tiny rooms, and bad food is not cheaper. It is more expensive in every way that actually matters. A holiday that costs $300 less but delivers a week of thin walls, tiny rooms, and bad food is not cheaper. It is more expensive in every way that actually matters. And now, number 1. The resort that earns the top spot on this list for a reason that will make you physically wince. Number 1. Royal Decameron Club Caribbean, Runaway Bay. Royal Decameron Club Caribbean lures you in with photographs of individual, round beachfront cottages surrounded by tropical gardens. It looks exotic. It looks peaceful. It looks like the kind of place that ends up on travel blogs with captions about finding paradise. The cottages are real. The tropical gardens are real. The paradise part is not. First, the cottages. They are intensely cramped and offer practically zero soundproofing. You will hear everything happening outside your door with perfect, unwanted clarity at all hours. Second, and this is the one that earns it the top spot, the beach. The beach at Royal Decameron is rocky, not slightly pebbly. Rocky and covered in coral fragments. Your children cannot run freely into the ocean here. You need heavy-duty water shoes just to step into the water safely. For a family that booked a Jamaican beach holiday, specifically to watch their kids splash freely in warm Caribbean water, arriving at a beach that requires protective footwear to enter is a betrayal of everything the holiday was supposed to be. The dining variety is minimal. The entertainment is described as thin. The overall experience adds up to a property that looks significantly better in promotional photography than it delivers in person. This is not one sensitive reviewer. The rocky beach comes up consistently across recent guests who arrive genuinely shocked. A beach your kids cannot play on safely is a fundamental failure for a family beach resort. To be clear about the beach situation, this is not a niche complaint from one overly sensitive reviewer. It comes up consistently across recent reviews from guests who are genuinely surprised and disappointed. When you spend real money on a Jamaica beach holiday and arrive to a beach your children physically cannot play in safely, there is no reframing that makes that acceptable. No single flaw on this list is as fundamental as a family resort with a beach your kids cannot use. That is why it takes number 1. That is the 10 to avoid. Now here are 3 that actually deliver. 3 resorts, all worth your money, all genuinely family safe, and all doing the specific thing each bad resort above failed to do, matching what they promise with what they deliver. Number 3. Safe. Riu Palace Aquarelle, Montego Bay. If you want the reliability of a major resort brand without the chaos of the Riu party atmosphere, Riu Palace Aquarelle in Montego Bay is the version of Riu that actually works for families. This is a modern, well-maintained property. The infrastructure is recent, which matters because half the complaints on the avoid list come down to dated facilities and deferred maintenance. The main draw for families with children is the Splash Water World water park, which is included in the all-inclusive rate, not an add-on, not a separate fee, included. The water park is large enough to keep kids genuinely occupied across multiple days, which is the benchmark that matters. The family suites are properly sized for a family to actually live in for a week without losing their minds. Multiple pristine pools, a clean beachfront with good service, a kids' programming schedule that parents describe as genuinely engaging rather than a token effort. Water sports are included in the rate, which adds real value for active families who want more than just a sun lounger. Riu Palace Aquarelle is not the most premium property on the safe list, but it is consistent, modern, and does not surprise you with problems you were not warned about. After everything on the avoid list, consistent and honest is worth a lot. The beach is clean and well-serviced. Not 7 Mile Beach, but genuinely pleasant. For families who want a reliable base with no drama, that simplicity is a virtue. The beach at Riu Palace Aquarelle is clean and well-serviced. Not as dramatic as 7 Mile Beach, but genuinely pleasant and managed well enough that you are not fighting for space or dealing with outside vendors. For families who just want a reliable base, that simplicity is a genuine virtue. Number 2 on the safe list is the one that families with younger children specifically keep returning to year after year for the same reason. Number 2 safe. Moon Palace Jamaica, Ocho Rios. Moon Palace Jamaica is a large resort. Over 200 acres, multiple pools, significant beach frontage. The scale of it could easily feel overwhelming or impersonal. It does not, and the reason is how deliberately they have engineered the family experience. The kids club here is not a room with a DVD player and a bored staff member. It is a genuine two-story operation featuring a massive ball pit, indoor slides, arcade games, and a fully supervised daily activity schedule. Parents consistently describe their kids begging to go back in the morning. When children are that enthusiastic about the kids' club, parents actually get to have a holiday. That is the entire point. Older kids and teenagers have the Flow Rider Double Wave Surf Simulator, which produces the kind of obsession in 12 to 16-year-olds that makes the rest of your trip considerably calmer. The beach sits on a protected cove, meaning the ocean water is calm, shallow, and free of rough waves. Young swimmers can actually get in the water without it being a whole production. The food operation is impressive at this scale. Multiple restaurants, all included, with a reservation system that works. Families report actually being able to book a proper dinner restaurant every night of their stay. One practical note: request a room close to the kids' club when you book. The property is large, and room positioning affects the daily flow of the trip more than you might expect. A reviewer who had previously had a disastrous experience at one of the resorts on the avoid list summed up Moon Palace with the kind of relief that is genuinely moving. This is what I thought I was booking the first time. Number 1 on the safe list is the gold standard, the one families talk about for years afterward. Number 1 safe: Beaches Negril. When it comes to luxury family all-inclusives in the Caribbean, Beaches Negril is the answer that comes up every single time the question is asked seriously. The location alone is extraordinary. It sits on the best, widest stretch of Jamaica's legendary 7-mile beach. Powdery white sand, crystal clear water, no outside vendor pressure. You set up, you stay. Nobody approaches you every 8 minutes trying to sell you something. The Pirates Island Water Park is a massive, multi-attraction water park built directly into the resort. Water slides, a lazy river, water cannons, and dedicated kid-sized splash zones. It is not a gesture toward family entertainment. It is a serious water park that anchors the entire family experience. For younger children, the Sesame Street experience is genuinely special. Daily character interactions, baking with Cookie Monster, character parades, and dedicated programming that makes the under-8s feel like the resort was built specifically for them. Because, in a meaningful sense, it was. The dining is exceptional by all-inclusive standards. Multiple specialized restaurants, all included, covering a genuine range of cuisines with quality that reviewers consistently describe as restaurant standard rather than resort buffet standard. The staff-to-guest ratio is high enough that service feels personal and attentive, rather than stretched and perfunctory. That difference is what separates a resort that feels like a holiday from one that feels like a managed experience. Beaches Negril is not cheap. It is priced as the premium product it genuinely is. But the reviews are extraordinarily consistent. The complaints are rare, and families return year after year with the specific intention of coming back. That is what a number 1 looks like. Jamaica done right is one of the best holidays you will ever take. Jamaica done wrong is an expensive argument with a front desk about a room that smells like a gym bag. Now you know which is which. Click the video on your left for our breakdown of the worst resort traps in Mexico. I'll see you there.